Just like every other video, pretty much that we do on this channel, today we're going to take a step back in time. Now, you may notice I'm not in my usual outfit, in my usual surroundings. I am down in sunny, hot Florida. I'm a Yankee in the South. Now, Florida is a beautiful state. I really do like Florida, but it is so hot that I just could not bring myself to record this outside. And since I'm not in my normal surroundings, this is the kind of background that we have. So if you're curious, that's what's going on. But today we are going to take a step back in time. We're going to go back to 1890 to 1933 with today's video. And we're going to take a look at a really cool firearm that was marketed certainly to youth, but wasn't exclusively sold and used by youth. And that is the Remington Rolling Block number 4. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what the rolling block system is, it is a very unique system of loading a firearm. Now, in the early 1900s, even the late 1800s, you had Colt, you had Winchester, you had Remington, and several other gun manufacturers that were competing for the market. Every single one of those manufacturers kind of tried to define their own unique spin on certain things that they were really well known for. Like take Winchester, for example, was known for its lever action rifles, and Colt was known for its revolvers. It was got the contract through the U.S. government during the American Civil War, and it carried over into the Indian Wars. Remington tried to compete, and they certainly sold their fair share of government contracts. But when it comes to the 1900s, all those different manufacturers are really trying to narrow down on their particular strengths, right? And leave the weaknesses behind. And this is where the rolling block system comes in. Now, this particular rifle is a 22. Now, it came in several other calibers, including a 32. But this is a 22 short, 22 long, not to be confused with a 22 long rifle, which, by the way, I feel kind of embarrassed, but I didn't realize that 22 long and 22 long rifle were not the same. So if you didn't know, you're in the same boat I was. Well, now you know, and knowledge is power. All right. So this 22 rifle is a perfect small game gun, and it's a perfect introduction for youth, getting them involved in squirrel hunting and small game shooting, or even just target practice. It is a heavy duty gun for a 22. It weighs about 4 pounds, and the barrel, this particular one, is octagonal, and they made a couple different variations up to 1933 when they stopped producing this rifle. Now, Remington also makes what's called a number 4, and it's spelled out F-O-U-R. This is a Remington number 4, like the number 4 when you designate it in shorthand. So let's take a look at this gun so I can break it down, because this is actually a breakdown model for you, and discuss how you can kind of date yours and what makes this this mechanism so cool. Now, you can still find these 22s out in the market. They're getting to be kind of collectible, but they're still pretty affordable if you go on your favorite gun store, or go out to a gun show or something like that. They're common enough. They made around 350,000 of them during the time of production, so that's quite a few that ended up there in the market. But if you're interested in figuring out where your serial number is, which is often towards the backside, towards the breech, you may want to take a look on the front of your forestock and see in this area, because this is where I found my serial number here. This particular version dates to around the 1920s. Remington was really good about recording their serial numbers and a rough idea of when it was made. Now, we know that this particular version of the number 4 was made between 1901 and 1926 because of this mechanism here. This is the takedown mechanism. Now, after 1926, they used a screw. So one of the coolest things about this, especially for cleaning or maybe taking out a jammed round or something like that, you flip this switch all the way around like so, and it just pops out. And I'll try to show you here so you can see where that mechanism is. Look right here. So that is what locks it in. Over here, And if we take a look right here, you can kind of see an indentation right there, and that's where it locks. This is just a wooden lug right here, and then you see, you know, where the breech meets. So this is called a rolling block because of this mechanism here that you use to load it. So first of all, you got to cock it all the way back like so, and this is the rolling block. Again, show you the mechanism here. See if I can get some good light. See it right down there, the rolling block. So you put it all the way through there, and now you can see where you can load it. Now this is also where the ejector is. It's not going to fling out like crazy, but it does give it to you so you can easily access. So we can lock that in place, and now again, so you can take a look. You can see where the breech is and where the round goes in, and you bring it forward. See how it just kind of closes right there and ejects the round. Now, you gotta be careful with this, just like any other firearm, but once it's loaded, you can ease off the hammer and bring it back to half cock so you can, you know, safely hunt with it within reason, and then bring it back to full cock before you fire. Now these have fantastic triggers on them, and you can see that it's iron sights, so very little adjustment here. You can raise it, you can lower it, and over here it's got a wedge brass end. And that is the Remington number 4. So this rolling block number 4, it was my uncle's, and I'm down here in Florida taking care of, you know, some family matters here, and my uncle was never a hunter, but he was retired Navy. He wasn't really much into camping, but it's just kind of cool seeing the things around here that my uncle used and that was tied to him, that was outdoor or outdoor adventure related, you know. So I'm sure if you look around, you'll find something in your neck of the woods in the same way. But this old number 4 was a perfect squirrel gun, a perfect rabbit gun, and a perfect target rifle. And I can't wait to take it out to the field. Speaking of the field, I want to personally invite you to our inaugural Camp Crafters Squirrel Camp. So this squirrel camp is hosted mainly by Dave Canterbury at his Pathfinder school. He very generously offered his property and his resources down there. It's going to be really nice in southeastern Ohio, and I'm putting it together in conjunction with him. And it's going to be limited to the first 20 people who register. So if you're really into, you know, camp crafting, historical camp crafting, you're wanting to really dive into it, especially be surrounded with some awesome people, then I would hop on there. It's going to cost you a little bit. Unfortunately, inflation's pretty high right now, and you know, it is a traditional early 20th century squirrel camp, so we're going to have to charge you $1 for registration. I hope that doesn't offend you, but yeah, $1 for registration, that'll help offset some of the prizes and awards that we're going to put together for it. But this Camp Crafters Squirrel Camp is going to be a lot of fun. It's the last weekend of October. Unfortunately, you can't use your .22. You can only use your shotguns. And it doesn't even have to be a shotgun that's specifically made before 1938. If you have a break action shotgun, or if you have an old style pump shotgun, then that will work. Now, that being said, we are not going to say that you cannot bring a synthetic shotgun. However, if you do, you will be opening yourself to some cajoling, ridicule, a little bit of you know, all good-natured ribbing, because it is a hunting camp, and you know, what's a hunting camp without a little bit of ribbing, right? So if you only have a synthetic shotgun, that is perfectly fine, although you have plenty of time to try to find yourself a nice cheap break action or pump shotgun to use to bag your game. And more importantly, however, is the clothing and the fit, if you will. We encourage you to, you know, buy some clothing, outfit yourself. Sarge Vining's got videos. Nathaniel Logsden's got videos over early 20th century adventures. I've got videos if you're wanting to go more of a scout kind of look or whatever. But we encourage you to wear clothes that's early 20th century. Pick a 10-year time period and do some research. If it looks good from 25 feet away, then that's acceptable. It's the 25-foot rule. Now, however, any modern equipment needs to be stored in your tent, and your tent must be historical looking reproduction tent or whatever. Even if it's just a fly and you're going for the overhang method or I don't know, something else, then that's perfectly fine as well. However, it does need to be a canvas tent that you are sleeping in. And it should be a period style, which there's lots of period styles that are still being made. So plenty of opportunity for you. So without further ado, check out the description box below. It has the form with all the information on it. You will need to submit a picture of you in your outfit and your kit. And it will be reviewed by myself, Sarge Vining, and Nathaniel Logsden. And once approved, then you're in. And you pay that $1, you will get admittance into the exclusive Camp Crafters Squirrel Camp space on the My Circle community, which is at the Camp Crafters Guild. And if you're unfamiliar with the Camp Crafters Guild, you should check it out because that has so many resources, so many good people on there. We have a monthly book club and things like that to get you prepared for traditional camp crafting. And you can join for 5 free days, check it out, see if it fits for you. And after that, it's $15 per month, and or you can pay more for an entire year, and you're covered. So it's a great time, a great place, and we hope to see you around one of our campfires that we have going on. So if you'd like to check out my videos about outfitting yourself for a nice early 20th century camp out experience, then check out this playlist here because I don't think you'll be disappointed. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Give a kiss and hug to your loved ones, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.